Puff kush clouds in the fast food parking lot, snot clogging nostrils. Cold air stars in the sky make you reconsider the gospel. But nah, you ask about the ethereal, everybody conjure up novels. But the realest shit is what'll really have you lose your marbles. Your peers slipping on a mass hysteria seems common. The 1% got money snipers, shit they're all marksmen. Fuck it, doesn't matter what you believe will never be pardoned. Your Bible claims I'm born with sin, I think the world hardened me, goddamn. Formerly religious, lost faith, wandering this path. Search for purpose, consume some shrooms, let my feet touch grass. Pocket vibrating, I'm always casting stones but never avoiding glass. Trying to figure out what happens to my soul if I die while at an impasse. I used to talk to God, now I wonder who was really listening. I know those stuck Christian despise my overcoming conditioning. I'm just desperate for salvation, walking purgatory soliciting. But for me to believe in a deity, I'd have to directly witness it. Shit.
Hello everyone, welcome to Indie Horror Speedruns Marathon 2023. I am your
Attention. All security personnel report to the main cell block. This is not a drill. Please, remain calm.
Hello guys, sorry. I am Symystery. I am, runner of this game. I'm here with Sharkat and, Topher, if you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Yeah,
Shark,
hey,
you wanna go
I'm
first?
Sharkat87. Oh, yeah. So I'm Sharkat. I run this game as well. It's pretty fun sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I am Topher Cakes. I have run this game last year, and yeah, it is a mixed bag, but it can be a lot of fun when learning it.
Yep, for sure. So, let's get started here. So, time starts when we move here. Gonna give a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go! Alright, so this is Callisto. Right off the bat, we're gonna do a big skip here that skips this entire level. If you guys want to talk about it while I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing you want to do right now is Sim's gonna run down these stairs here, hit a checkpoint, and then restart, and then immediately head back up the stairs. The reason for that is that there's some collision that changes once you hit this checkpoint, and it's not there before. But this basically allows you to get on top of a mattress. This was found very early on in the run, but you get on top of this mattress and you run into a wall. There's some weird physics that we use a couple times in the run where you are facing a wall and then you stomp. And I forget what the reason is, but it flings you away from the wall at a very high rate. Unfortunately, it's tied to a lot of things like your FPS and also like what point in the running animation that you're at. So it's very easy to get thrown off the wall, like thrown over the wall here. It might take a couple tries here, but like I said, it comes down to like where Jacob is in the running animation. So you're gonna see like Symystery try to time it to the head bobs. It can be very tricky, but we're trying to get right on top of this bed here, so we can get around this piece of collision and then out of bounds. So, yeah, this is the biggest reset. Well, one of the biggest reset points, only because it's so early on in the run. So if you don't get in the first, I don't know, 10, 20 tries in a normal run, then it's a reset. But, you know, blessing and curse that it's the very first thing you do in the run.
Yeah, and we should note that the particular route we're doing is important because you do need a weapon, a melee weapon specifically, to beat the game. And there is one we can get. We're gonna skip getting the first one in this level, the crowbar. We're gonna go straight for the stun baton, and that's because there's an enemy right at the beginning of the next chapter that you can't progress unless you kill him, and we don't have a gun yet either. Also, I don't think we talked about the name of this skip. I don't think. So this is Bruv skip. And it's because one of the main characters, Elias, downstairs in his cell, it's kind of started as a joke. He just says "bruv" a lot, and we skip him in
That
this
can
chapter.
happen,
So bruv skip.
unfortunately, sometimes.
Yeah. This is going to
This
be a
is
consequence
very
a bit like.
difficult.
Yeah, I mean we can talk about a few things as we go for it, but another one of the consequences of skipping that cutscene with Elias is that he gives you like a wrench that acts as a shiv, and the thing about this game, it's a bit weird, is that like in other games, if you get to a certain point and you skip getting an item, like a key item, the game will just give it to you. This game doesn't do that. So like when we skip getting the shiv, for some things it's just gonna be invisible for the rest of the game, but for other things, like you can get soft locked in the game, and we'll talk about that more once we actually get to those spots.
Yeah, since we don't have the shiv, you would think we wouldn't be able to cut anything. There's certain parts of the game you got to cut wires, these little animations Jacob does. So in some of those places, the game's not even really using the shiv. It just looks like you are. So like Topher said, it'll be invisible you know, because we don't have it, it just won't show up. But there are
There
certain
we
actions where we
go.
do actually need the shiv. Like, oh, nice job, dude.
Okay,
Like
it's
some
not,
enemies
not
grabbing
over
us.
yet. Not
We'll,
over
we'll,
yet.
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. So now we're on to the second part of the skip. So Sim is gonna look up here, and that's because we need to walk back and have the level load in to catch us, like the floor below us. But it's gonna keep unloading, so that's why you see Sim pausing here to keep letting the level load in. And then the idea is to run backwards. The level's going to deload again. He'll pause buffer, level loads in, and he's going to repeat that process till he gets enough distance, and he can drop into the room right where the stun baton is. The way the level loads in this game is very dependent on where the camera is, so that's the reason why he's looking up so far. He wants the camera to be lower so that this camera angle makes it so that the floor loads in a little sooner than if he just looked straight forward, like straight ahead.
Yeah, there's an obsolete trick in the run where you just get yourself in like a very tight corner in the wall, like underneath some collision, and then you turn the camera so that the camera's out of bounds, which tells the game, hey, we're not in this room anymore. Nice. Yeah, you got that.
Nice. Very,
So, yeah,
very
we-
nice. So
Yep,
that
and then we
skips
go
this
and we get
entire
the weapon.
level. We skip meeting Elias, we skip getting a crowbar, we skip a bunch of tutorials, we skip the whole solitary section. I forget exactly how much this saves with cutscene skips, but it's a pretty significant amount of time. I'd say probably like 8 minutes, give or take.
Yeah, how long is this level? Like if you got Bruv first try, how long is this level? Like a minute or two?
Like 2
Right?
minutes.
Oh, I think it's like.
Okay,
it's
very
bonkers,
important
yeah.
here, guys. We're gonna pick
Yeah.
up this health injector because I'm gonna sell it at the store later in the run to get an upgrade. It's very important I pick that up. Here, these
Yeah,
guys can
there's
kind
a
of
little-
troll me. I'm gonna try and run to the left so this guy here doesn't grab me. Nice, he climbed over that. That's good.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
That's really good. We're gonna try and make it to this button before the enemies get close to us, because if they're close to us, I can't use this elevator, and that would be really sad. Because then I would have to kill them.
Nice. Yeah, so there's a little bit of tech with the health injectors. We can talk about it in more detail later, but basically holding the button down for the health injector starts this animation, and we can tap the button to start the animation for a fraction of a second, and that animation can cancel or interrupt some other things, so it speeds a couple things up here and there. But like I said, we'll mention that more later when it actually comes up. You also have to not be at full health too, so it's, you know, you can't use it all the time, and you also have to have one on you as well. But yeah, that's the first chapter. That's Outbreak. Fortunately, this game added cutscene skips. There's normally a very long cutscene there that Sim just skipped, and on launch we did have to watch all the cutscenes. Sim, do you have any idea how much the cutscene skips probably save, like just by themselves?
By themselves in glitchless or in any percent? It's like 30 or more minutes in any percent. It's way more
Yeah,
in
it's-
glitchless.
Yeah, I've heard upwards of like 40 to 45, but I think that's way too high. I think the thing is that like with the cutscene skip mod, they also patched some stuff out, so like it's a bit of a mixed bag for like what it is, but it's definitely a big
Yeah.
save.
Do you want to talk
Yeah,
about
Sim, you
this
wanna talk about this
this
next
rock? Or I'll talk about this
Oh
rock.
yeah. You got it.
So
you got it.
this rock right here did not used to be here in the original patch of the game. And what you could do is you could crouch in that corner and turn the camera, and this room would unload. And you would fall into a room below you, which would skip this entire upstairs section. It would skip getting a gun, it would skip all these cutscenes, it would skip some combat. And I think
Yeah.
it saved around 4 or 5 minutes. Unfortunately, they added a rock there to stop us from doing it. But like Sharkhat said, they added cutscene skips in a later update. It wasn't at launch. And that rock was added before cutscene skips were added. And cutscene skips save more time than the obsolete skips do. So
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could still do it, but you know the 30+ minute time save for cutscene skips kind of just
that
outweighs.
was crazy stutter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this game does not run very well, unfortunately. It has a lot of, the PC version of this game has a lot of, optimization issues, which most of them have been fixed with updates, but some
Yeah, the game
still-
runs pretty okay now, I think.
Yeah.
I remember watching some of Looney's very old runs where like he had to like tweak his settings to such an extreme extent that the game was just super bright and the lighting looked terrible.
Yeah.
But,
He had the,
yeah,
he
you
had
can
the
really
files.
customize it for
Dude, so
performance, but it'll look really bad. Yeah. So it is actually kind of nice that we have a gun now, even though we can't skip this section. You know, that's unfortunate, but there are some perks to having a gun at this point. You used to still have to buy a gun at some point in order to beat the game, but there'd be a section through this level where you just wouldn't have one. You can still aim, and the power-up grip we're going to get later, sort of like Dead Space Kinesis style ability. You can still use that. It looks kind of goofy because he'll hold up his hands like he's holding a gun, but nothing's there. But there are some enemies later that will just one hit kill you if you don't have a gun or the shiv. Well, if you don't have the shiv, I should say.
Yeah.
Because normally you're supposed to mash out of it and he'll stab the enemy. And in that case, he actually is using the shiv, and if you don't have it, you just can't fight it and you'll just die. So.
Which is weird because those enemies show up like way later than when you get the shiv. It's not even the same chapter.
Yeah, so, but since we have a gun, it shouldn't be a huge problem. You used to not have the shiv or a gun, and so you'd have to grab a prop and then throw it, but you don't have a crosshair, you know, because no gun. So you'd have to grab a prop and with no, you know, aiming reference, like just throw like a barrel at these dudes and kill them, and if you got too close without killing them, then you would just die.
Okay, this room here, I tried to shoot that guy so he wouldn't hit me, but he hit me anyway, which is unfortunate. Most of the enemies in this game, you actually don't have to kill. You can run by most of them. Vulture of the thing. Thank you. Yeah, you can run by most of them, and that's what we are gonna be doing for the most part, since combat is relatively slow, but we can do a lot of things to speed up the necessary combat, which we'll get into later.
Oh, there's the invisible shiv, yeah.
Yeah, there's the invisible shiv.
Do what you gotta do in here.
Yeah. Yeah, enemies are really persistent though, so you know we have some strategies to try to slow them down, like Sim shooting that guy, but they really love to just run after you and pester you, hit you, try to grab you when you try to run away. So you can do what you can to mitigate it, but sometimes they'll just hound you. So we're coming up on that grip ability pretty soon here. It's essentially like Dead Space's Kinesis power-up, except the really broken thing about it in this game is you can pick up enemies, not just items. And the way they balance that is you only have so much battery for it, and it'll recharge very slowly over time. But, well, I guess we'll see this a lot later, but if you reload a checkpoint, you'll actually get your full grip battery back. So we're going to do that a lot because unupgraded, it takes about 3 minutes to recharge the grip after it runs out. And it runs out really fast. If you pick up and throw, you know, 2 or 3, 4 enemies, it's done. So you gotta manage that.
Also, that rock that Symystery was talking about, you would drop it down to around this spot if you did that skip. So everything that we did for the past couple minutes, we would have bypassed that.
Yeah, unfortunately they added that rock, which makes it so you are not able to do that, which it removes a little bit of interesting routing, because we had to route out where exactly you had to buy the gun and how much money you needed and stuff like that. Now it's a lot easier, but it's also like way less cool.
Yeah, because they used to just drop like, when you buy the gun normally, they just give you a bunch of items so you have enough money.
Yeah.
But you skip that chest too, yeah. Oh, Sim, I'll let you talk about this slow mode.
I don't think it works on this patch. It does. Okay. So you can spam aim and unaim to skip a slow-mo there. That's a tutorial about picking up enemies. I'm gonna pick up this grip battery here. Do you want to talk about grip batteries, Sharkat?
Sure, yeah. So, like I said, you can reload grip by reloading the checkpoint or waiting about 3 minutes after it runs out. But the game also gives you a sort of, you know, not like ammo, but, you know, an item that lets you refill the grip. So you can either use it manually. That's pretty slow, though. You have to actually open the inventory, and you can't move when the inventory is open. But fortunately, it refills automatically. So you do have to be careful because you can waste it on accident. But if you run out of grip and then you try to use it again, it'll just automatically use the battery and refill it to full.
Open up the maintenance elevator. I'll get you up
So
here,
that's why I said you got to be careful. You got to know when it's about to run out. If you spam, if you're spamming grip, you might accidentally use it when you don't want to. But they are very good to have.
I invis shift the bot. Nice. I do have chat open, by the way, guys. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask, and either me or Sharkette or Topher will be able to answer.
That loading screen. Oh, that's the enemy, by the way, that can grab you. We probably won't see them jump out because
Hopefully not.
We can expect where they're gonna be, but
Yeah, one of the things that the checkpoint or the the cutscene skip really helps with is the fact that before it existed, with that elevator sequence that we just had, it took about a minute beforehand, and the checkpoint was at the top. So if you messed up with that enemy at the bottom and it actually grabbed you, again, it's an insta-kill because you don't have the shiv, if you don't kill it with like throwing something at it or shooting it. So if you got grabbed by it and automatically died, you would lose a minute because you'd have to spawn at the top of the elevator again, and that's happened. I've lost a run that way.
So Sim did kind of a funny kill on one of these guys here, so I want to explain that. So you saw him throw the enemy on top of a box, and he just instantly died. So if enemies stand on particular geometry they're not supposed to be on, the game just kills them because it assumes they're out of bounds or they can't get back to you or something. So if you just throw the enemy on top of those crates, it just instantly dies, and you don't have to waste any resources killing it.
I'm trying to save my ammo here. Unfortunately, this guy got too close to the fuse gate, which means I'm not able to use it, so I have to kill him. I'm trying to save my ammo here because if I don't have 3 bullets at the end of this level, I'll soft lock. So I need at least 3 bullets. So I'm trying to make sure I have that. So yeah.
Yeah. One of the chat questions is about why we don't run on an earlier patch, if they patched out a lot of the glitches. But the reason for that is that it's been more than offset by the cutscene skips that were added later on. So that's the main reason, is that overall it's faster on the newest patch. But yeah, it's like kind of a mixed bag, but overall worth it.
Yeah.
And also it helps that since the newer patches have come out, we've actually found alternate ways to do some of the things that got patched. So there's still, the main thing is just this level, the skips, we haven't found a way to do them. If you could get on top of the rock, it would still work. For example, like there are some possible theories, but yeah, this level is way slower, but in general, we've found a way to more or less do what we used to do in the other levels, plus the cutscene skips, so overall it's a lot faster. Before we knew how much the cutscene skip saved, we actually weren't sure if the new patch was going to be fast, because they did patch out the biggest skip in the game. Though, like I said, we were able to figure out some alternate ways to do some things.
Yeah, we'll be getting to that a bit later on.
Yeah.
But here I'm gonna be using the store. This is I'm gonna be using the store twice, once here and once in below. Here I'm gonna sell that health injector I picked up, along with these 2 others, and buy the energy upgrade for the grip, which is gonna give me a little bit more energy on the grip. Which lets me throw more enemies, pick up objects for longer, things like that. The good thing about this is we have to wait for this gondola to get here anyway, so using the store doesn't actually lose any time. So it's very convenient that we can upgrade there. Using the store anywhere else in the game loses time. So we want to try to go to the store the least amount of times as possible.
Sam, are you gonna be pulling these enemies onto the platform, or just throwing them off the edge? Oh, I see. Yeah.
Here, in this fight coming up, I'm gonna be throwing the enemies into the fans. You'll see.
Right.
This is the first proper combat room with grip, so we're gonna see how that looks like.
Right.
The enemies here all have set spawns, so if you know where they come from before they come, then yeah, you just gotta memorize the patterns, which I don't know the patterns, so I kind of know them. Not really though.
Yeah, specifically with those first two enemies that we saw standing on the edge when that door opened, you'll notice that Sim just like pulled them a little bit towards us and then let go instead of pulling them off the edge. And the reason for that is kind of like what Shark was talking about earlier with those like pieces of collision. If you throw an enemy on top, they just die.
The door won't open until the power finishes cycling up.
On the edge of that, kind of edge on the edge right there. And if you pull them just a little bit, those enemies both drop, I think 100 credits or something worth 100 credits. So for money routing, it's very useful to get that from them.
Yeah. Luckily in this fight, we don't actually have to use that many bullets. So we're good on the 3 bullets right now.
Yeah, that was a nice ammo drop you got. They also give you some free grip batteries in this room too, so they were definitely intending for you to spam throwing them into the.
I need one more bullet, which I should get. There we go. I got 3 bullets. So I'm good.
Yeah, with the old route, if we were able to do the gun skip earlier, we would be buying it after this room, and because money grinding was a bit tighter back then, where like if you just didn't have enough, I believe, to get the grip upgrade and the gun, if you were going for a top time, it might be a reset at this point.
Yeah.
And even though it looks like it's only 20 minutes into the run, that's with cutscene skip, so it was more like, I believe, a half hour into the run beforehand.
Yeah, and we haven't even gotten to Habitat yet, which has its own set of problems.
I think every chapter. Well, no, I was gonna say every chapter has its own set of problems, but Tower 2 is okay.
Yeah, Tower 2 is okay.
Well, actually,
I know.
Well,
I had to catch myself. If y'all know meta, like Tower 2 is a chapter later on, and the name. Like, we have numbers after each chapter for, like, the map that they're on. That's how the auto-splitter is set up. Tower 2 is, like, a cutscene, and the only actual thing you need to do in that chapter is, like, walk, like, 30 feet, and then the cutscene starts. And I think for some reason, like, something will happen to, like, mess up your, like, walk speed, so you can actually lose time just walking for maybe 10, 20 seconds. But
yeah,
it's a very silly way to lose time. Yeah,
it's to the control panel so you can open that cell.
So
yeah,
yes,
before we knew that,
problems.
before we knew that, we saw somebody had lost like 8 seconds in Tower 2, and we were just thinking, how is that even possible?
What did you do?
Yeah, what did you do? Here we're getting to the introduction of another character, Danny. She's we're kind of not friends with Danny right now, but we're gonna be friends later. It's complicated. We're trying to save her so she can help us escape the prison. Unfortunately, she betrays us and leaves us in this cell. So funny thing about these cutscene skips, when you skip cutscenes sometimes, it doesn't skip all of the downtime sometimes. So after cutscenes, sometimes you'll get a checkpoint, which will put you farther forward. So you skip the cutscene, pause the game, reload the checkpoint, watch another loading screen, and then it puts you forward, which is kind of a meme.
Or I love how this one just puts you in the vent where you gotta hold W for a while instead of just
outside of the vent.
Yeah.
My favorite
I don't know
one
if
is
we
the
talked
lost
about
one.
yeah, did we talk about how the game actually moves Jacob during the cutscene skips?
No, we
Like,
didn't. We didn't
it's
talk
not just...
about that yet.
So you would think. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a game programmer per se, but you would think maybe it would load like a checkpoint or something, like load like a predetermined position or whatever. It seems like when you skip cutscenes, the game will literally move Jacob very slowly from where you started to where he's supposed to end up after the cutscene skip. So that's why some of these cutscene skips on elevators take forever, because the game is just slowly moving him all the way down to where he's supposed to be, even if like the next area is loaded already.
Yeah, the one in Colony is almost the loading screen is almost longer than the cutscene. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it's because the next area is like way above you, and they just have to slowly move it all the way up.
Yeah.
We found that out because we have we have like cheats for like testing things. We can see our player coordinates and stuff like that. And we noticed during some of those load screens that the player coordinates were just moving very slowly. And we're looking at this thinking, no way, this is how this works, right? But I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. Which is pretty silly, but yeah.
Coming from a programming background, I feel like they saw a few of us complaining about Twitter, seeing us complain on Twitter about wanting a cutscene skip functionality, and they just said, "Hey, new guy, you work on this," and then they just gave it to him to work on for a bit. So maybe that's why it's a bit janky.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was easier to do it that way. But the game also has checkpoints. When you reload them, it'll put you in a specific place. So, I don't know.
So the weird thing is the cutscene skips actually work better on console. Like, it's not as
that vent in the far corner will get
like
you
it's
to waste
different for
processing.
some reason. I don't know why. Like the loads don't take nearly as long. It's so weird. Like the one in Colony on console takes like 3 seconds, and it takes like 50 on PC.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they did it differently. Obviously, we can't really check with cheats and stuff as easily, but who knows? So these robots are really dangerous. Actually, you can kill them. It's a little tricky because you have to stun lock them. You have to hit them in the weak spot a few times. And the reason they're so dangerous is because they just kill you in one hit with their gun. So we have a predetermined path we can go through there, especially after the checkpoint restart. That makes it pretty easy. There is going to be... Well, actually, you're going to do oxygen skip, possibly. Well, depending on how that goes, we may see another robot. We may see another robot in Habitat, and there's a similar situation, but you have to actually... you do have to actually kill him if you want to get past it quickly.
One last thing. There's a trap in there to keep
Okay, up here there's a trap. The trap insta-kills you and all enemies, so we're gonna try and not walk into the trap. It's actually very easy to accidentally walk into the trap, so let's not do that.
Yeah, Sim is gonna try to not have what I call getting Callisto'd, where you try to dodge something and you just die anyway. There's a little bit of jank with the enemies attacking you, so you kind of lock onto them too. So sometimes in this area, you'll try to be running away, and an enemy will come at you, and it'll force Jacob to turn in a weird way, or you try to dodge, and you'll just go straight into the trap and die. Some did not get Callisto'd, though.
I didn't get Callisto'd, but there's many more places where I can get Callisto'd.
Yeah.
I feel like getting Callisto'd can mean like a million things. This game has a lot of memes that are like, they can just make the run a really terrible time.
I feel like you can kind of say that whenever anything jank happens in this game, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Now get to the window.
But we are
Tell
coming
us
up
what
to
you
the end
see.
of the second chapter, and we're moving on to Habitat, which has a few really big skips. Back in the day, I think the biggest skip was.
Just get a move on, yeah.
Which
Should be a
skips
hatch
are you going
nearby.
for in Habitat?
And,
I'm doing skip and slide and sewer skip.
Okay. Yeah, that skip and slide's, I think, the best balance of like difficulty and time save.
Yeah, there is another skip called Habitat Launch, which skips pretty much the whole level, but it's extremely hardware dependent and random, so it's
yeah, if you just think bruv skip at the beginning of the run, but way worse. Partially because you need to get stuck in. You need to have the level unload and then load back around you and get stuck in a very specific part of the floor. And then you need to flick the camera so the level unloads again, and then you need to stomp as it's unloading to get a very specific launch to get to the end of the level. So if all that doesn't work out, then it just doesn't work. So
yeah, as a reminder, the camera flick is because what is loaded and unloaded is based on where your camera is. So you have to do the stomp while you're stuck, and then as you're about to launch, you have to be moving the camera to unload it so that Jacob doesn't just stay stuck. So it's what you saw at the beginning of the run, just a whole lot worse, like Shark was saying.
Yeah, and speaking of deloads, you're going to see another example of that here. So Sim's grabbing this box here, and that's going to let him climb on some geometry here to get closer to this wall. And if you aim up you can push the camera a little bit through the wall, and once the camera gets far enough out of bounds, it'll just unload the whole level. And the idea is we're gonna skip the first big chunk of the sewers here and just land later in the level.
All right, so fair warning, my computer can sometimes troll me here, so let's hope it doesn't happen. It trolled me. That's unfortunate. To fix this, you can run up here. This sometimes fixes it. You can run up here, back to this ladder, and then run back, which resets the load. This also moves the box back. You know, I'll try it without the box.
Yeah, boxless is a lot faster, but it's a little more inconsistent.
Yeah, I'll give it one more go.
Yeah, I was gonna say this game is very hardware dependent for a lot of things. Where like you can watch the videos to like learn how something is done, and then try it and do the exact same inputs, and it just won't be the same. Like load times, how good your computer is, things like that. They'll all impact. You know, like you have to figure out exactly what works for you and your computer.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was joking at the beginning of the run. This game is fun sometimes. It's just because, you know, sometimes things are a little more inconsistent. The game has cool tech and cool skips, but when it feels like it's sort of out of your control, things not working, it's a little frustrating. But, you know, like with all PC runs, there's certain things we can do to try to mitigate that so that things are a little bit more even for everybody. But, I mean, the game just... a lot of the tricks are based on the level unloading, and that, you know, that load speed is
you know
a
what?
little bit
I will just go
dependent.
through the level normally.
Yeah, that's fine. Honestly, sometimes when you just load in here, it feels like it doesn't work.
Yeah,
and, you reload the checkpoint, come back.
Usually in runs, I would restart my game here to help the load be a little bit less bad. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. This skip only saves, I think it's like 2 or 3 minutes, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, the other skip in Habitat saves a lot more time, so. That one will do. Well, actually, I guess there's 2 more you could do.
Yeah, marathon luck. Okay, I gotta actually remember where to go here. I haven't played this in a long time.
So
all this guy's gonna pop out of the water here. There he is. We'll throw him back there. He can still troll you. Go away.
Yeah, if you're watching this and you're like, man, I would love to speedrun Callisto, but my PC can't, you know, like, get up super high FPS, there are filters on the SRC board to make things more fair. So we do have a cap. Well, there are 2 caps that we have, one at 60 and one at 120 FPS, because I think there were some people who had FPS that, like, much higher than 120, and a lot of the tricks just were, like, they were more consistent.
Like Radish, for example, could get like 400 FPS, and like they were like way easier for him. Yeah. So here we're actually coming up on the introduction of a new enemy. This is the Invisible Guy. I don't actually know the official name, but I call him the Invisible Guy.
That's it.
Yeah. They're invisible. That's their whole gimmick. They're invisible, and then they'll appear and they'll attack you. That's their whole gimmick. We actually will not see. We actually won't see much of those guys. I think pretty much.
Was that a joke?
For sure.
Okay. Oh, I don't know if we didn't touch on it. Oh, actually, yeah, you explain this first. Actually,
I gotta get the fuses first.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, real quick. So to answer your question, so between 60 and 120 FPS, it's mostly that stomp launches are very FPS dependent. So, for example, Bruv skip at the beginning of the game, I'm pretty sure the huge launch... Actually, the huge launch in this level might still work, but there's a few stomp launches that only work at 120, and at 60 you just don't get enough speed. So,
the one in
it's
Lost
mostly
is
that.
A lot harder at 60.
Yeah, and what is it? There's a skip in this level called Oxygen skip that wouldn't work at 60, but otherwise it's fairly similar. You've done a 60 FPS run, right, Sim?
No, I've done 60 FPS glitchless.
Oh,
my any percent 60 FPS time is a glitchless run.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go.
Okay,
so these fuses,
it's actually
right?
very important I grab these fuses. Now,
Yeah.
Whenever you pick up fuses, they stay in your inventory until you use them, even if you go on to the next chapter. Obviously you aren't expected to keep fuses like this, but since we're going to be skipping a pretty large section of this level, we're going to keep these fuses. Now, these 2 fuses I picked up are very important. We're going to use them in the final level in the game, an hour into the run. We're going to use them to skip a boss fight and skip a long hallway. Do you want to explain skip and slide, Sharkette?
Yeah, sure. So Sim gets up there and dodges that enemy so that he'll get stuck on that ledge. So we're gonna do a piece of tech called a Goomba Stomp, I think is what we would generally call it. So you can, if you bounce on top of the enemy's heads, you'll actually bounce up and gain some height. And we're gonna try to use that to get out of bounds here. So first, Sim's gonna do a particular setup so that when he runs off this ledge, he doesn't get the normal drop down animation and he can just run off. And then he's gonna bounce and land on a railing on the lower level. Then he's gonna grab the enemy, put it in a particular spot, and try to Goomba stomp off his head to get all the way out of bounds. Because he's kind of stuck in a corner, he can't just walk off the railing here. And he got a first try, that's really good, nice. So now,
Awesome.
this trick is called skip and slide because we drop right into the sewer pipe where there's the big slide section. So that was really good. That trick can be really annoying because of the fact that you got to deal with an enemy. Sometimes the enemies don't like to cooperate. Sometimes Jacob likes to bounce but not go in the right direction. So yeah, that was really clean.
Alright, so here we're coming up on our first auto-scroller of the run. Fortunately, there isn't many of these, but I can't speed up or slow this down at all. Actually, I can slow this down if I die, but I'm not gonna die. I hope I don't die. But I can't speed this up, so yeah, that's pretty much it. We just gotta dodge these fans, not get hit by them as I, almost die. The other skip in this level, habitat launch, would put you would do that same out of bounds that I did, but you would get stuck in the pipe, do a stomp, flick the camera down, and you would launch all the way to the end of the level. It's really bad, so we're doing this one instead. Oh, I died.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So,
I thought I could make it.
So the current world record actually, the current world any percent record by Sim actually does not do habitat launch. The old world record actually did have it. Looney, his run, Looney does habitat launch. I forget the exact route changes and things that that occurred, but eventually Sim decided not to add habitat launch in just because it's such a huge reset point.
It's so bad. Like 99% of runs you get to habitat die to habitat launch. It's so bad.
Yeah, and even with cutscene skips, it's a fairly large time investment to get all the way there. Plus the fact that you have to actually get past Bruv as well, which is also a reset point.
Yeah, if Aftermath had grip skip, I would consider it, but it doesn't.
Yeah, even like on current, even with cutscene skips, I think Aftermath is like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's
or like
20 minutes
16.
with cutscene skips.
15, 20, somewhere in there. It's a long level.
Can we get a Callisto
There is a theoretical
counter? How many times have I gotten Callisto this run?
You haven't got everything you've done.
Well,
everything
sewer
that has
skip
happened
was
so far is your fault.
Oh no, sewer skip I got Callisto'd. I got Callisto'd.
Yeah, you got
by
Callisto
sewer
there.
Skip.
The fan blade, that was all you though.
Oh,
The fan blade was me.
Yeah. Okay, so one Callisto.
One Callisto. We haven't even gotten to the blind enemies yet. Oh my. You guys aren't ready for the blind enemies. This is so frustrating.
You'll have to wait and see.
Oh, speaking of enemies though, so Sim is gonna we have to kill 4 enemies here to progress. These enemies, we skipped a tutorial where the game shows you the enemies mutating if they have these tentacles that come out of their chests. And the way it works is if you don't shoot them, they will mutate and become very strong. But if you shoot the tentacle right before that happens, there's like a short window, they just instantly die. And if you throw the enemies against a wall, then the tentacles come out immediately. So Sim's gonna go for oxygen skip here, I believe.
Yep.
So this only works at 120 FPS, but he's gonna try to turn around and get a little boost on this ledge and try to get out of the elevator.
Nice.
Nice. Okay.
So we're gonna come up here. The door's
Loud
gonna
and clear, bro.
close.
Good timing, too.
And doing
I'm
this
getting close.
resets the lift down here. Normally you can't take this lift back up.
Not so fast.
And you'll see why.
See that building oxygen processing?
Because I went back there, I'm able
Get
to use
there
this
to
lift
lift the
again,
lockdown in the dome.
and I can get on
Can't
top
stop
of
the
the
tram
railing
until you do.
here. Now, I'm gonna be
Bruh,
very careful
just
here.
keep trusting
I'm
the
gonna
plan,
inch my
yeah?
way
And keep moving. We gotta
over
beat this
here.
storm.
And when the elevator reaches the top, I'm gonna land on this. Now I'm out of bounds. I'm gonna land on this. I'm gonna do some parkour. Who knew Callisto was a parkour game? Am I right, guys?
Just like Dead Space.
Just like Dead Space.
A game where you can't jump.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was very nice. Yeah, Sim's gonna navigate out of bounds and land back in bounds here. It can be a little bit tricky.
Oh, I hit a checkpoint, but I died. Okay.
Which checkpoint is
Wait, what
this?
checkpoint did I hit?
Oh wait, did you hit
Oh,
the one where you can
I hit the
grab
vent. I hit the vent checkpoint.
Oh, that's
Wait,
actually,
that's actually good.
kinda-
Wait, that's actually
That's
so
actually
good.
that's actually kind of lucky because I think there's another checkpoint you can hit there that puts you like at the
Yeah,
start.
there
You got to
is.
run all the way around, or you just don't hit a checkpoint at all.
That's actually
Yeah, that was
really lucky.
actually very nice.
That was my fault, by the way. I was aiming a bit too far to the right, I think. But that's okay, cause I hit the checkpoint.
Yeah, that skip is also really difficult. So that was very
Yeah,
nice. First try.
that's one of the smaller skips in this game. Actually, it saves like a minute, a little less, I
I think
think.
it's like 40, 60 seconds, something like it. I'm
Yeah.
kind of just pulling out that number. I thought it was like 40-ish, but I don't know. Yeah, a lot of the skips are, huge full chapter skips at this point, but we have a decent amount of like little skips here and there.
All right. So this is a combat section. You're supposed to kill these guys, but you don't actually have to. You can just run them. You can run by them.
Yeah. This is actually where habitat launch would put you if you get a really good one.
Yeah.
Although you can land in a lot of funny spots. You can actually land in the fan blades that send through some of those enemies in, and you just die
And then
instantly.
you either die instantly or the game crashes. It's really
Yeah.
funny.
One of the things, I forget if we said this about the habitat launch skip, but in addition to everything that was said earlier with having to do, like, getting a metronome out to time the launch and the camera unload, you also have to pause the game at the correct point to allow everything to load in. Because if you do it too early, you hit the outside of the dome and bounce out. If you do it too late, you just won't hit anything. You have to, like, while zooming across the game in, like, darkness, have to know when you're in the middle of the dome and then pause the game and have everything load in. So I forgot about that aspect of it, but
I don't
very
think
spooky-
that
very spooky
we
moment.
mentioned it, but runners actually do use a metronome to time the stomp for habitat launch. That's how bad it is that we need to bring out the metronome to be able to time the stomp.
What I will say is that if there's ever a summoning salt video on this game, which there won't be, one of the biggest drop moments is going to be Looney getting his metronome out, looking down with his eyes closed, and then having his game paused for 10 seconds before loading into that room there. Chills every time I watch it.
Yeah, shoutouts to Looney. We mentioned his name before, but he's been one of the biggest glitch hunters and runners of this game.
Yeah.
Had the record a bunch of times for a while.
Unfortunately, he can't join us today because it's like 6 a.m. where he is. So
It's like super early in the morning for him. I think it might be like 3 or 4 a.m. or something like that. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, shoutouts to Looney.
Oh, easiest skip in the game right here, guys. Easiest skip in the game.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can do,
yeah.
You
Oh,
can
you
do
can
this
try.
at
You can
home.
try this at home.
You can try this at home. Okay. We're gonna run up to this rock here and stomp. That's it. Watch this. Let's go!
If you messed that up, that would be the funniest thing. Anyone can do this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I kind of wish
that
stomp launchers were more
saves
like
like a
that throughout the
second.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish there was more of that. There's that one, and then there's the one in Outbreak, which I didn't do. But yeah,
Oh, that
there's
one
a
also saves like
yeah.
a
There's
second.
the
That one's actually a little harder. Yeah.
that one's like way harder than this. I didn't even try it. Okay, so this section where you can't really see. Why can't I grab this guy? Okay, that was very
Hey,
weird.
yo.
Yeah, they try to bait you here and make you think that that's your friend Elias, that dude
Sorry.
walking in the distance. I don't know about you guys. I don't think it was. I think it was pretty obvious it was just an enemy.
Help me.
I was
I
a
mean,
little
I
confused at
think it
first.
was too.
Elias,
I wasn't scared.
you can hear me. Activate your emergency beacon.
Okay, so story update. One of the wardens of the prison, Captain Ferris. We thought he was dead, but he showed back up, and he threw us out into the snow without our suits on. Fortunately, Jacob was able to put his suit on before he suffered air loss, suffocation. But Elias, on the other hand, is not so fortunate. Yeah, he's gone.
Oh man, this cutscene is so long.
This
too. I'm
cutscene
really glad we
is
get to skip
so
this one.
long. This is
Man, what? Oh,
this is Elias's death cutscene. It's supposed to be really emotional and stuff. And then Danny shows up from
Yeah.
earlier and ruins everything.
oh, it's a good cutscene. It just this
Yeah.
level glitchless with before cutscene skips was so slow. It's over 30 minutes, I think, because
Yeah.
you have a huge like a 3 or 4 minute cutscene, maybe not that long, but it's like really long before you even get into Lost, into Habitat. Then you got to run all the way over here. Then you get that cutscene, which is multiple minutes long, and it's just a lot of like running.
I'm pretty
I mean,
sure
it's all fine.
Elias's
Actually, this
cutscene's
level's
like
great.
5 minutes.
This
Like,
is like
it's
one of the
crazy.
best levels casually, I think. It's a good level, but it's one of those levels that on repeated playthroughs you kind of wish you could get through it a little quicker. Like I want to just
Okay,
get to the
guys,
action.
we are coming up on the hardest skip in the game and also the biggest skip in the game. So wish me luck. If you guys want to explain Lost Skip, there's many steps. So I'm gonna focus and hand it over to Sharkat and Topher. Let them explain this.
Yeah, we'll just mention real quick that so this is, yeah, like Sim said, this is the biggest skip in the game. I think this saves like upwards of 10-15 minutes. They did patch it, we thought, initially, because you used to be able to just walk out of bounds here, but then we were able to figure out an alternate way out of bounds. So first he's going to do something called an inventory hover. So I mentioned earlier, if you use the inventory, it stops all your momentum. So if you open the inventory when you walk off a ledge and then you land on something right as it opens, you'll just float in midair, but if you have forward momentum, you'll maintain that, and so we'll just float forwards until we land. You can close the inventory to cancel this at any time, so we have a little bit of control over it. But yeah, now we're out of bounds, and we're gonna make our way up these rocks. Topher, if you want to talk a little bit about what's coming up.
Yep. So we are. Sorry, I was checking on something, but yeah, we're out of bounds right now. Just climbing on these rocks. The way you're supposed to go is just to go across this bridge over to the next part of the game, and underneath the bridge, there's a lot of kill planes that if you somehow got out of bounds, would just kill you. But if you do one of these inventory hovers, kind of where Sim is now, you can hover to the point where there is no kill plane, stop the hover, and then fall down into the little cavern below. It's pretty tricky, but we should be able to get it.
Yeah, I would say this is the first really difficult part of the skip. Oh, and he got
Good.
First
good?
try.
Nice. Okay, that's really
Okay.
good. This inventory hover is pretty difficult. So he's gonna wait till he gets about halfway under the bridge, and then he can just close the inventory to cancel the hover. You'll see, like Dead Space, Jacob doesn't really have a real falling animation, so it loops every second or
Yeah.
so that's kind of funny.
Wait, that's actually so unlucky. Wait,
Oh, did
no
you fall?
way!
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I've never
Oh, no.
seen this. No. Okay.
Marathon
Okay.
moment.
Okay. Marathon moment, guys. Marathon moment. I've never seen that happen before. Okay, I got stuck. I've never seen that happen. Luckily,
Yeah, I
there's
don't know
a
if I've ever
checkpoint
seen
right
that.
there.
Yeah, so Sim can just do this again. You can see what we were talking about. I might call that getting Callisto, maybe.
I got Callisto'd.
I think that counts. Yeah, that's 2. Okay. All right. So yeah, same thing again. We're gonna walk off this invisible ledge. yeah, this was a bummer actually. This patch before we found this, because and, you know, to be fair, the thing with the rock earlier and you know with gun skip and then you know patching walking out of bounds here, there were a lot of videos of casual players doing these out of bounds. So I'm assuming they patched them just because they didn't want people randomly, you know, falling out of bounds. Totally understandable. Obviously, it sucks for us when, you know, it makes the run slower. But, oh, it was such a huge find when, Sam, you found, was it you or Looney that found this hover?
I found the
I think it was
hover.
you, right? Yeah, we were freaking out.
Yeah, we were freaking out.
Because they didn't patch anything else with this skip. There's a lot of steps to this. They didn't change any of the out of bounds stuff. They just made the invisible wall bigger in that one spot. But since we found this inventory hover, then we just do everything else like we used to, and the trick works as normal.
Yeah, it's kind of like putting the rock in that one spot where it's like, what's the easiest way to like stop this from happening? And then they do that.
And honestly, like I assume even if they have seen Lost Skip, they're probably not. I would assume they're not too concerned with us doing this. They probably just don't want regular players like falling out of bounds randomly and getting confused. You know?
Okay. So
Yeah,
now
that
I'm
makes
out of
sense.
bounds. Do you want to talk about navigating the out of bounds, Sharkcat?
Yeah, so as you can see, if you just run into these slopes, you can climb up them, you know, unless they're too steep, obviously. But we are going to be doing a stomp launch later on, kind of like the one we mentioned that's possible in Habitat. But we need to get up, we need to scale the mountain first. So you'll see Sim. It may not look like there's too much to it, but a lot of these sections, you have to move in very specific places. We actually have lineups for where to move specifically. The part he just crossed a couple seconds ago, you need to cross across a very specific point where these two edges meet, these two planes meet, and if you don't do that, you'll just slide off or get flung off. There's some invisible collision that loads in here, so that's why you see him crouching. Sometimes if you are, you know, standing here, it'll also load in and fling you off. So all of this has been, you know, very meticulously like worked out so that we know how to get up exactly. If he does fall off here, it's actually all right. Unless he gets super unlucky again and lands in like a pit he can't get out of, but that's pretty rare. If he does fall back down, he can just climb back up.
Yeah, it is a big
Yeah.
time loss if I fall, but I can recover it. Okay, so now we're on to the stomp. This is the hardest part. Every time you mess up this stomp, you lose like 5 minutes. So, as to not uh go overestimate, I'll try it a couple times. If I eventually don't get the stomp without cheats, I will open up cheats and I will save my position here and I will try the stomp over and over again until I get it.
Yeah, again, this game has a lot of. This game doesn't have all like, you know, compared to some other games, maybe a lot of huge skips. But the ones it does have are pretty difficult and are just huge run killers. There's like 3 or 4 points in the run where, yeah, my run's probably gonna die. You know, especially if you're going for world record or something.
Oh, that's
But,
not
you know,
good.
I wish some
That
luck
that
here.
no, that stomp's not it. I stomped too
It was
early.
close.
I stomped too early.
Yeah, that was close though. It was a good try.
Yeah, have we explained what the ultimate goal of this skip is? Like what it is we're doing by getting out of bounds and going for this spot and doing the stomp?
I don't think we mentioned specifically. If you wanna talk about it.
Yeah, so this map is a bit of like I think it's like a C shape or it's kind of a curve where if we get out of bounds and just try and run to the end, like kind of going across from one point of the sea to the end of the sea, there's kind of a kill plane in the middle, so we're not able to just walk all the way there. There's like, you know, reasons we can't do that. So we have to do the launch to get over the kill plane, which is what that last stomp that Sim's trying to do is. But you need enough speed to actually get over there and the right angle. And I mean, you saw all the stuff that was going into it. But if we can do that, we skip basically the rest of this chapter.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, we
this
have to
is the
obviously
biggest
do the
skip
little
in the
intro part of
game.
the level, but yeah, because so if you play this casually, if you know this level, so this will put us all the way at the point in Lost where we would normally be getting out of the snowcat with Danny, and we'd be going to where Jacob's ship crash landed. So most of the entire level, we're gonna skip getting the the shotgun actually from Danny, which does also affect the combat routing a little bit because you get it for free watching a cutscene with her. But it skips the whole Snowcat facility, taking the tunnels to get there. Just a lot of just running and things like that.
Yeah, this first hover is actually not too bad. The second hover is the worst one of the two, and also the launch is kind of bad. Luckily with the better setups that have been found, the launch is actually way easier. This used to be like such a huge reset.
Yep.
It still is, but now it's not as bad with better setups. Um, for example, getting stuck in that rock used to be like really bad. It used to be really, really bad. But I found a setup that gets you stuck in the rock pretty consistently. The problem is timing the stomp, which is still very difficult. Alright, nice.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, the timing of opening the inventory is pretty important too. It's not, you can't just run off and open it at any time. It needs to be opening as you hit the surface to stop your momentum.
Let's hope we don't
But
get
that
stuck
was
in
very
that
nice.
spot again.
Yeah, we didn't get stuck. I have never had that
Nice.
happen. That was some marathon luck. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, because usually you can just run in the same path here, but I mean, you never
Yeah, I
know.
mean,
There's a lot of geometry out here.
yeah.
It's
So,
lucky for us all this is solid in the first place. We can actually walk on it.
yeah, true. I don't know if I missed this, but in case anybody's wondering, we're not able to run to the end. There's a big gap. That's why we have to do the stomp.
Yep. Yeah, sorry, I said kill plane. I meant there's just nothing there.
Yeah, yeah. There's
Yeah.
yeah. You just
Well,
you just
there
fall.
are also lots of kill planes around here too, to be fair.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, Sim's gonna do the same movement, using some crouches to move a little slower, wait for the level to load in, and then be able to crouch and walk around some more of this geometry.
Yeah, I might want to save the location on this one.
Yeah. How are we on time? I don't have the timer up.
We're at 55:05.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, before the cutscene skip stuff was added in, I think like the first big breakthrough was about 2 hours or so. So
Yeah.
it was a longer run before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this run was I think it was in the 150s, 140s, even maybe for
It was
a
well. It
while.
was
And
147 was the wood record before they
yeah,
added cutscene skips.
yeah, now it's all the way down to what, 116.
Okay, I'm going to save my position here. Let me open up the trainer. Okay. Just so we aren't here all day, because like I said before, every time you mess this up, you lose like 5 minutes, give or take.
But yeah, if you get everything first try, it's like a 15-minute time save. So like 5-minute time loss on each one sounds bonkers, but over glitchless or over just doing like not doing the trick altogether, it saves a lot.
What just happened to me was unfortunate. The rock loaded a little bit too fast, which means my angle wasn't good. So I have a very specific lineup here. I'm lining up my crosshair just below this black spot in this texture. And then I'm aiming here and then backing up. Okay, that was a late stomp. Like Sharkat and Tofa were saying earlier, the timing on these stomps is very important. If you stomp too early or too late, you don't go as far. You don't go where you
Yeah,
want.
it can mess up your angle as well, I believe.
Okay, this maybe will work.
That looks pretty good.
No! What is that?
Oh,
Come on! Come on. Okay, well, you saw where we wanted to land. Unfortunately, I went too fast that time.
Very silly.
Yeah, sometimes you get baited because you see the collision flying near you and you think you're gonna land on it. And
This
then you
should
bounce.
work. There we go. I landed in the safety net. We call this area the safety net.
Let's go.
You can actually get farther than this, but it's a lot more riskier. It's this
Yeah,
way,
at this
right?
point,
Yeah.
we just gotta look for the tower in the background and run towards that.
I don't see
Yeah,
the
as
tower.
difficult as this stomp is,
No!
fortunately, there's
No way! Okay, I
Dog.
ran the wrong way. I was confused. I didn't see the tower. It was to my left, not to where I was running.
so yeah. Fortunately, there's a lot of collision you can land on here, so it's still really difficult, but it would be way worse if you had to land in a very specific spot. Fortunately, there is a lot of collision you can land on. If you do get really lucky, you can even land almost right near the ship. That's really, really fast.
That's really
but
fast,
it's
yeah.
it's pretty rare to get a launch like that.
Okay, that's
I should learn
unlucky.
this setup for the rock.
This setup
You're
for the
doing.
rock is so much easier than whatever we were doing before. It's actually so much better. The only hard
Yeah,
part is the stomp.
You know, even with the memes, you know, watching you do this is actually kind of making me want to do any percent again.
dog. I don't know what's I don't know what's wrong with your brain. Where like I see this and I'm like, we're not convincing anybody to want to learn this game, and then you're like, you know what? I want to do this.
I don't know. Sometimes
It's cool.
you know,
It's cool,
it-
but yeah,
it is a cool run. It's just sometimes
that
you
was
get
late.
cold-stowed, man.
That might still work though. Oh, it worked.
Yeah, if anyone
I
does
landed in the
want to
safety
learn this
net
game,
again.
or you know, or even just run like you know, I mean, because we have categories for glitchless, you know, 60 FPS, any percent. We got the DLC as well. You know, if you're interested in trying to run the game, it can be pretty fun. You also don't have to do all the hardest skips. The route I do is easier than the world record route that Sim does. There's a really difficult trick in one of the later levels that only saves like a minute or so. I don't do it. It makes the level a lot easier, for example. So
Wait, where is the tower? That's what I want.
it's pretty fun. It's a pretty small community too. It's pretty chill.
Dog. I think it's
But
you were going that way, weren't you? Oh, wait,
I
no, it was a
was.
small delay. Never mind. Oh no.
I don't know where the tower.
I think
oh,
it's
it's
this
this
way.
way.
Yeah. I believe. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, when you see the tower, that means you're going the right way. Okay, I landed at a bit of an awkward part of the safety net, so I was a bit confused where I was, but I found my way. So right now we're just running to Jacob's ship. So this is the first part of Lost. The second part of Lost is basically all unskippable cutscenes, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I'm gonna show a funny thing in the cutscene coming up.
Yeah, I guess
Somebody
for
in
this.
chat asked about the glitchless run. Glitchless in this game is it's okay. It's okay. There's some hard parts of glitchless. Like this level kind of sucks in glitchless, to be honest.
this level is just really long. But I mean, overall, I think glitchless has a pretty
Where the
chill
hell are you
time.
going?
Okay, so that skips all of Lost. So even though I messed up like a lot, I probably did still save time. Probably.
Yeah, I don't know how long this level is glitchless now. It's probably closer to like
Danny,
20
where are you?
I think it's
or more
around 20
minutes, but
minutes.
it used to be 30 or more.
All right.
around 30.
You guys want to see something funny? Let's look at this. Look at this. So Danny's supposed to be here in this cutscene, but she's not.
Hey,
Instead,
what are you doing?
um,
Medical supplies?
She's just a wrench.
What?
I don't know why she's
Wait,
a
where's
wrench.
the wrench?
At the
Oh.
bottom.
I see.
I don't know why she's a wrench, but
I think she's holding one normally, or is she?
I don't
Or no,
remember.
Thanks for ruining the joke. Wait, were you
Well,
being
no, I don't-
serious, Sim?
no.
You didn't know?
I have no
What
idea.
were you expecting to find?
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
she's holding a
remember.
I don't remember.
She's holding a wrench.
Well, no,
trying to pry the
wasn't
box
I wasn't trying to ruin the bit. I was genuinely curious. Like, I was like, is she holding a wrench? If not, then it's even
I
funnier.
mean,
guess.
probably. I just like to
Probably, I
I
don't
just
know.
like to imagine that she is the wrench. I haven't
since
seen
it-
these cutscenes in so long.
Yeah. So we've done it a little bit. I don't know if we've explained it, but in some of these sections where you get slowed outside in the snow, kind of sort of similar to Dead Space 3 actually. If you aim with your pistol, you walk a little bit faster.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't think it works with the pistol. Doesn't it need to be the shotgun?
I think it's same speed, I think, but it's faster with the shotgun, which we don't have the shotgun.
Right.
Speaking of
Yeah.
that, Danny gives us the shotgun in this level, but we skipped it by doing lost skip, which doesn't actually matter that much for any percent. In glitchless it matters a lot more because you use the shotgun way more. But in any percent it kind of sucks because it makes the final boss a lot more difficult. But that's it. We don't use the shotgun anywhere
Yeah.
else.
Well,
Oh,
don't-
actually, go ahead.
yeah. There's one spot in below that we use it to we can use it to get in front of Danny to like get over this one. I don't know what to call it, like a checkpoint or something. But
You
like
can
if you get behind
do
her,
it with the you can do it with the pistol. It's just a bit harder.
oh okay.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, so you can use that to get over that, and the reason that's important is, well, it's not as important now, but you could reach a checkpoint if you got there before Danny did, because normally when she gets there, it pulls you into a long, well, maybe not super long, it pulls you into a cutscene. Now we can skip the cutscenes, but when cutscene skips weren't a thing, that saved a lot of time, and if you messed it up,
Yeah.
it felt pretty bad. Oh, with the shotgun, I wanted to mention, speaking of glitchless, there actually is some tech with having both weapons. If you move sideways and you let go of aim, press the switch weapon key and re-aim, you can actually swap your weapons a little faster. So as you're moving sideways, you can shoot pretty quickly with both guns back and forth. So in glitchless, for example, you can do that. It speeds up some of the fights quite a bit. So that's actually like a glitchless, I don't want to say exclusive piece of tech, but yeah, without the shotgun here, it's, you know, you obviously can't do that if you don't have a second weapon.
Funny thing here, if I look up, you're gonna see you're gonna see when we teleport to the next section of the level. It's gonna be a
It'd be
bit
funny if
closer
you
to
said,
the top.
"If I look up, you'll see this," and then you just don't look up.
Yeah.
Like, don't even show us.
Couldn't have made it without you.
Wouldn't
I'll
it be
show
cool?
it.
I know.
You don't seem too surprised.
Yeah, so unfortunately this is Lost 2.
Whatever the hell's going
This
on.
is technically the same chapter, but it's a different map file in the game, so we can't skip from the first section of Lost to here.
The news report said that was all.
So
Yeah,
and nobody's
most of the
found
chapters
any.
are in one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most are in one map file, but this
Yeah, one
this is
contained,
the
like, chapter,
exception,
but-
and Tower. Alright, watch
Yeah,
this.
Tower has 3 sections for some reason.
Alright, that's when we
Although I think
teleported.
Tower 1 and 3 either overlap or are similar, right?
Tower 1 and 3 are the same map, but Tower 3 is like way above Tower 1.
Right, it's the same map, but it switches back and forth for
Yeah.
the cutscene, basically. Yeah, it puts you in a
Yeah.
different map file for a cutscene, and then it just puts you back.
Yeah. It does that here too.
Yeah. So for this section, it's pretty easy. You just move left and right, and you have to dodge the debris, which I'm pretty sure kills you instantly.
Yeah,
I don't
it kills
know
you
if I've ever
instantly.
actually.
You want to find out?
Maybe in a casual playthrough I did. I mean, kinda. I'm a little curious. Oh, this is kind of a small detail, actually. There's the settings with the QuickTime events. You can set them to a couple different settings for accessibility. There's the one we have on, which is, I think, one tap, like one press QTE, which is if you just press the button once, it completes it. there's actually an autocomplete feature where it'll just do it automatically, and we actually turn it off. Although I think with the cutscene skip, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter with
the
the cutscene skips, but on
Yeah.
old patch it did matter.
Along with the
Yeah,
rest
because
of
there's actually a quick time event during that cutscene there where Danny tries to grab your hand.
Somehow.
And if you do that, she will grab you, but then she'll drop you, and then you go into the falling sequence. So you actually don't want, in that case, autocomplete QTEs on, because no matter what you do, you'll always get that time loss and grab Danny's hand. So that's why I mean, it doesn't really matter now, but that's why we usually have one press QTEs
On the
on,
map, there was
so
a
that
service
you can
route
just
a
press
few
it
levels
manually.
down.
You know,
Yeah.
to
Might
grab
be a
the
faster
grab the
way to
thing
reach
when you're
the colony.
falling, but not actually
I hope this
get the one with
plan of
Danny.
yours doesn't get us both.
Are you gonna be going for the hover right here, Sim?
No.
It's getting worse.
I unfortunately didn't get in front of Danny here. I was a bit too slow, but that's okay because we can just skip this cutscene. And I'm gonna reload this checkpoint. What that does is that lets me run during this section. Normally, you're not supposed to be able to run, but if you reload the checkpoint, it gives you run back, which saves a ton of time.
Yeah.
It's
crazy how much time this saves.
It is crazy how much time it saves. There is a small skip here that I could go for. I'm not going to because there's a chance it can soft lock the game. If I do it wrong, and it also doesn't save that much time. It's like 30 seconds, I think.
Just make a manual save. You're good. Just do it.
Are you talking about the hover or?
The cutscene at the bottom doesn't play if you don't hit all the triggers, and I don't know what they are.
Yeah, you gotta like hit some triggers falling through the air, I think, right?
Yeah, I don't know the lineup for it or anything. I haven't.
Yeah, I actually haven't learned this skip yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, this hover only saved about 20 seconds, I believe. It
Yeah,
was
it's
the
about
first
20 or
one that was
30.
found.
We actually thought they patched it, which is crazy because
Think about it.
before I think Sim learned it at
Yeah.
some point recently, Looney was the only person I think maybe in the world that actually had done it, or at least had done it in a run. And we thought they patched it because a new patch, the old lineup just doesn't work. I don't know what they did. We thought they just completely patched it, which was just insane to us because there's no way a casual player is gonna get this inventory hover. Like, it's hard to do when you're trying to do it, you know.
Yeah.
It turns out it does still work. You just have to do a different lineup. So again, I don't know what they did, if they changed the collision here for some reason, but we thought they were coming after us. We thought they patched below hover on purpose.
Yeah, we started having to do some Among Us style voting in the Discord server to try and find out who the hidden dev was and get them out.
We didn't figure it out.
Yeah, no, we didn't
haven't
figure it
we haven't
out.
found them yet. Yeah.
Glenn is just hanging out in our Discord.
That would be pretty cool, actually, if that were true.
Would be. Yeah, like I said before, this cutscene right here can soft lock if you don't hit all the triggers. I don't know why, but it
I think if
does.
we said this, we saw it a few times here, and you'll see it later in the run. But you'll see Sim like run sideways off of ledges, and the reason for that is if you run straight towards it, there'll be like, I don't know, a getting down animation, like where Jacob like crouches down, puts his hand down, whatever. But if you hit it sideways, he'll just run right off of it. So
yeah, like that.
small time save throughout the whole run.
All right, so these
Yeah,
are
you
the
keep the
introduction
momentum
of the
running
blind enemies. You want to talk about the blind enemies, Sharkat? These little rats.
Well, you have crouch on control.
Yeah.
I guess it's not that bad. I don't know. I don't. Anyway, I don't like it. On... Anyway, yeah. So these guys, the stealth is interesting to say the least in this game. So these enemies can't see, but a lot of times, once one of them detects you, they will just home in on you. They'll go through vents. They'll find you in another room. They'll travel in a pack, and they will just not get off your trail. Sometimes that's not the case, and they will actually just lose you. The way they detect you is also a little interesting. It's usually just if you're like running past them, or if you get too close to them in the front. You can actually make or I think if you shoot, they'll also see you, but you can make a lot of noise. Like, you can stealth kill an enemy. You're slashing him, throw him on the ground. You can even stomp his body for the credits, and they just won't hear you. But if you walk right next to them, they just instantly, they all know you're there. It's very odd. I don't know why it's that way, but yeah, Sim's gonna be selling a bunch of stuff here. You wanna talk about the upgrade stuff?
Yeah,
you're doing?
I'm gonna be buying the second grip energy upgrade. This is actually not faster. It loses probably about like 20 seconds. But it's a lot safer. It makes the final boss a lot easier. I don't have to worry about getting trolled as much on the final boss. Which the final boss is actually really hard. I have a skill issue with the final boss, so
It's definitely a lot harder in any percent, at least just to get through the boss, because it can have the shotgun.
In glitchless,
it's too slow
so free. It's actually so
yeah,
because
again you have the shotgun, and I don't know if the record for glitchless gets any damage upgrades for the guns, but
yeah, they do.
Even without that, with quick swapping, you can just unload so much damage. You have, you know, a lot of grip. You can throw explosives. It's pretty comfortable, but you know, obviously in any percent, you know, grabbing extra stuff is, you know, there's always a trade-off with the time loss. You know, to run shorter. So
yeah,
that's
the one part where not having the shotgun actually matters is the final boss. It's a lot slower and it's a lot riskier.
Yeah, I've even found recently. Yeah, even like playing the harder difficulties in this game, a lot. If you know what you're doing, a lot of the combat sections can be either you know, sort of circumvented by running past the enemies or using grip. You know, a lot of sections in this area you can just kind of run past the enemies. So the actual, you know, main time you need ammo doesn't really come in until, I would say, probably Colony, which is the next level, and that's actually the second to last level in the game. So yeah, again, having grip is... I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. I don't remember where I was going with it. But yeah, grip is broken, and you can run past enemies. I guess that's what I was going with. Yeah.
Yeah, there is one room, though, in this chapter, the generator room, where it is... Like, a lot of things you can just plan on how to get around the enemies. It'll be pretty similar each time, but that room... Like, it can mess with you over and over and over. Like, there is, like, a way you can get past and not get detected or have a great time, but you can easily lose a lot of time because these guys will hear you, hunt you down, and just keep attacking, so...
Oh, and when you get hit, fun. you get stun locked.
Yeah.
Yep, you just get stun locked, and then you immediately die, and it feels so bad.
Yeah. Because when the enemies chase you, hit you from behind, they don't change up their combos. Like, they'll still swing at you 3 times, and if you don't turn around to face them, you can't dodge. So sometimes you'll just keep getting hit, and it's not as bad. I don't know if we mentioned explicitly, but we are playing on minimum security, which is the easiest difficulty. The main reason just being it's faster. So it's not as bad.
Oh man!
But oh no!
I got Callisto'd.
That's unlucky. Yeah, Sim is trying.
What's the Callisto counter at now?
Oh,
it's at least 3 or 4.
It's like 4, I think.
Yeah,
Bangers is gonna make that. Is gonna make that way more.
Yeah. Okay, that works. So we don't want enemies to be here when we're using this key card thing, because it'll prevent the door from unlocking. Whoa! Play the animation again.
I've never seen that.
Dude. Okay, that also That's we'll say that's 4. We'll call that 4, I think.
Yeah, you know, we'll say that. I got Callisto there again, so is that 5?
Yeah. Oh, we'll call it 5, sure. So yeah, he reloads checkpoint there. 1, to get grip, because again, doing that refills the grip battery completely. And 2, it'll sort of reset the enemy spawn, so it gets those guys off of him. There's enough enemies to deal with in this section. This is a pretty difficult section in terms of getting past, and one of the main reasons Sim got the medium upgrade on the grip battery, because again, you run out very quickly even with the small upgrade. Picking up enemies and throwing them uses a lot of grip. Which makes sense, because it's very broken, as you can see. You can kind of just run past all the enemies.
Yeah, and like, even though we're on the minimum security difficulty setting, this is still a very tricky run. It reminds me of when Radish got some world record in Dead Space. Someone was like, "Oh, you're doing this on the casual difficulty?" He replied with, quote, "You do it then, you fucking loser." It's one of the funniest things he's ever said.
Yeah.
Anyway, game is still hard.
Yeah, well, because it even though it's on minimum, going out of the way to grab health and to actually watch the heal animation, takes time. And if you're trying to go for an optimal time, you really don't want to stop and heal. So trying to do the game without basically healing at all is still pretty difficult when you're just running past stuff. And a lot of the difficulty then also comes from, if the enemies are easier to deal with, then things get more optimized, and then it gets harder to save more and more time. But I don't think we haven't really added a harder difficulty category to this game yet. If people are interested in running it at some point, we might. But it honestly wouldn't change too much. You might have to be a little bit more stealthy. You might kind of just die more.
I don't think it would
routing,
change that much. I think you would just
You
die
might have to get
more.
some more upgrades. Yeah.
It's one of those things where, like, when the game came out, we had a certain pool of players, and then you split that by console and PC, and then you split the PC by who's doing glitchless and who's doing 120, and then glitchless and then any percent, and then that by 60 FPS and 120. It's like by the time that we start talking about actual difficulty levels, it's kind of it's like too small of a community to want to split that. Yeah.
I can get.
There were a couple people that wanted to do like merchantless or like maximum difficulty runs when the game came out, but no one really did runs, or maybe a couple people did.
I mean, that guy was just shooting me during the cutscene.
Yeah, that's unlucky. Yeah.
I mean, like, what is that?
Yeah. Like, here's a section where on maybe maximum security or contagion mode or something like that, you might want to be a little bit stealthier, for example, because you can't instantly kill these enemies by sneak killing them. But,
I have seen Looney get like stun locked, even when he tries to sneak. But when he gets off the ladder, he'll just they'll be coming at him immediately.
Oh,
so.
yeah,
it's so bad.
The way they detect you is just really weird in this game. I don't know.
It's so
it's
bad.
hard to explain. It feels very inconsistent at times. Oh, one good meme that'll happen is sometimes you'll be trying to crouch and they'll just spawn out of vents, but they can do it when you're just crouching and walking over the vent. So they just spawn on top of you and then they all just know you're there, and it's like that's fair. Yeah.
I saw that happened in your stream yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't know they could do that because I'm used to playing, like, most of my hours in this game are doing like any percent, right? So. I was going through playing the harder difficulty. I didn't know they could just spawn on top of you. Oh, and that guy's just there he goes. Okay.
That was good.
Power's on.
Yeah. So if we didn't mention, contagion mode is the hardest difficulty. So
Jacob?
we were possibly thinking it could be interesting because harder difficulty, enemies aside, it actually makes it so that there's no autosaves, no checkpoints. Except for the beginning of each chapter. So that could open, some interesting routing ideas. You have to do skips without reloading checkpoints. But then the more I thought about it, I don't know if that would really make the route any more interesting. It might just be, if you don't get the skip first try, you got to replay the whole level.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot of skips where you... Oh, well, I guess bruv skip you couldn't do. You can't reload checkpoints.
You can't do bruv.
Habitat, I think you could still...
You can still do habitat launch though.
You can still do habitat launch, but you just can't retry it if you mess it up. So, and lost skip would still work.
Yeah.
So.
But you need to get it.
But anyway, yeah, that's basically why we run on minimum. It's faster, and the other difficulties don't offer too much in terms of different routing. Like, it really wouldn't make the run that different. Maybe in glitchless it would be more interesting, glitchless hardest difficulty or something.
I think it'd be a bit more interesting.
Since there's
in glitchless.
more combat. The combat is really where you would see the harder difficulty making a difference. Oh, speaking of combat, someone's gonna do a very difficult combat section.
Yeah, this is very, very difficult, guys. So all the enemies spawn on the same, once one enemy spawns, you know where the other ones are gonna spawn for a bit. I think there's four enemies that spawn per side, and we gotta kill each side. So this is 3. And this
you might be
is
looking
4.
at this and be like, yeah, you might see this and think, wow, Sim is really cheesing this fight by throwing them off the edge, but it's like, this is the best way to do it. You know, they give you the grip batteries, like enough to actually throw everyone off. They make it so that you can throw them off and just insta-kill them. So, I mean, I don't know. I can't see myself actually like succeeding any other way except throwing them off.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they all mutate to their stronger forms, so, and they all just swarm you, so this would just be really tedious and difficult if we didn't do it this way. You might be able to shoot the tentacles, so I guess you could just blow a lot of ammo on it before they transform, but, you know, that's a lot of resources too. Using, like, 2 grip batteries instead is, I think, a better use of items.
Yeah. Also, if you think that this is cheesing it, wait until the little boss shows
Oh
up.
yeah, wait until the boss shows up.
There's a great edit that that Carsey made of
Yeah,
of Glenn talking about, you know, oh, this boss, you know, is really you know, really cool, and like the players gonna have a lot of fun like fighting him, and he's like difficult and scary and all this stuff, along with the strat that we do, and you'll see why it's funny. Yeah. So this enemy coming up the 2-head, you normally have to fight it 4 times. And on minimum, it doesn't one hit kill you most of the time, but on medium and up, it pretty much just 1 hit kills you if it hits you. It's actually kind of frustrating, and it will usually just cut. Sometimes it cuts to like a separate camera angle where you just die. It's very disorienting too. But
all right,
there's a lot of
watch
jank
this,
that
watch
can
this,
happen
guys. Watch this,
with
watch
it
this
as well. But,
watch this. This is the boss.
You can't mess it up after we've talked it up so much.
See ya.
So it turns out he can also fall off the drill here. So there he goes. It's actually really good that we can do that because killing those enemies or that mini boss takes a lot of ammo, and again, ammo is pretty scarce in any percent since we skip so much stuff. In fact, I said normally we have to fight 4 of these guys, but with the route that Sim's doing, we're only gonna fight 2. And spoilers, we're fight is a strong word. We're for both of them.
You're almost to the colony.
Yeah,
I
fight
think
is
the
a bit of a
second one
strong
is intended.
word.
I'm pretty sure the second kill is intended though, because in Riot
it's
mode,
intended.
there's actually like an achievement or something, or like a challenge to kill one of those guys with an environmental hazard. So I think they kind of intended for you to do the second one, but I won't spoil what it is.
See that
The
light
colony
tower?
one. Are you doing the colony
there.
one?
Yeah, I'm doing bangers.
Got it.
Okay, well if you miss bangers, we get to cheese that one.
We do.
I think they might have patched that,
Wait, did
or
they
it's like
patch it?
different.
I think they patched
Every
it.
single time
They
someone
either-
has
Also, guys,
Well,
if
I don't
somebody,
know
if
for sure.
somebody
I have-
finds a way to get over this gap, I will love you forever.
I'll give you
Put your wallet where your
$100.
mouth is.
No, if
100?
somebody finds a way to get over that gap, $100.
Sim and
I
I will
swear.
both give you $100. I'm not even joking.
No, not even joking. Okay, if you can get over that gap, you can skip the entire level. But nobody's found a way to do it.
And it would obsolete. I know we keep saying like, you know, oh, this is the hardest trick in the game. This trick is really, you know, inconsistent, whatever. This trick coming up in a little bit is probably the worst trick in the game.
Oh, this is by far the worst trick in the game.
I don't do it. I don't even do it. You know, I think. Well,
this
okay,
is by
Habitat
far the
launch
worst
might be
trick in the
worse.
game. Or Habitat launch is probably
Habitat
worse.
launch has got to be okay. Habitat launch is worse.
But
This
this
skip's
is up
really
there.
bad, though.
This is up there.
It's pretty up there.
Yo, pause. Okay. I don't know why.
So
it's being weird.
So yeah, the skip. We'll start talking about it now. So it's called Bangers. The name comes from it skips the area of the level where there's a song playing on a radio. It plays like the final credits song. So we call it Banger Skip or Bangers. It skips the banger. But the skip itself entails a pretty annoying out of bounds. Again, the way the game loads is pretty hardware dependent and sometimes seemingly a little random. But if we get an enemy to hit us in a certain way, it'll push the camera out of bounds, unload the level, and then we can do some out of bounds platforming to skip a mini boss and a pretty big chunk of the level.
Why can't I use the
Oh, dude,
panel?
I had this happen to me. I don't know why this happened.
Why can't I use the panel?
Restart. Checkpoint restart.
That's so weird, actually.
That happened to me a couple times. It might be a new patch thing.
Is
But
that
one of the
that
times I
doesn't happen on old patch?
one of the times I did it, it did work the first time. So I'm not sure.
I've never seen that. Yo, so many things that I've never seen before are happening in this run. That's kind of insane. Like my marathon luck this run is kind of insane. Oh, that's not
I
good.
call it not practicing.
Yeah, not practicing. Also, that enemy being behind me right there is actually really bad. Can you, like, go away? Thank you.
Yeah,
That
like
guy
other
being there
prompts in
is
the
so
game.
bad. Can I actually
Yeah,
use
because
this stuff?
if you get hit while you're in certain
can't use
animations,
What the heck?
if you back out, the door should close, and then you should be able to use it. That's what happened to
Yo.
me. I'm pretty sure this is a new patch thing.
I've never seen this. Why can't
Because I like stepped out of the elevator, the door closed, and then when I went back in, it worked.
Just do a
But
lap.
one of
do
the
a lap.
one of the times
Yeah,
it
let's
just
do a
worked,
lap.
yeah.
Let's do a lap. That's so weird. That doesn't happen on old patch.
We might have to check my highlight from yesterday where it didn't happen the one time. I don't know, man. But yes, Sim and I will both we'll both
Okay.
give someone $100 if they find that colony skip. By the way,
How much money you got for original Dead Space 1 Chapter 5 consistent?
I found something.
Okay,
I'd say about the same, probably.
Just get up here.
Really?
I will try
Nah,
this one
maybe
more
like 50
time
bucks.
if actually wait, that's if this doesn't work, I can't load checkpoint forward because then I won't have the fuses.
Just kill the enemies. That should work. I mean, I was able to get past this casually every time.
Yeah, let's kill
It
the
just
Yeah,
wouldn't
kill
let me
it,
do it
just,
instantly. No, I mean like I'm pretty sure once you kill the enemies, it'll work too.
I really hope they didn't.
Oh, maybe you have to kill a certain number of enemies for it to
I
work.
would be so mad if they did
Because
that.
when I was playing Contagion yesterday, and I was
Where's the
killing a lot of the
spikes?
enemies, or like I'd
Oh, here's
sneak
the
kill a lot of
spikes.
them. Maybe they did
Spike's
change
right
that.
there. Yeah.
Because you used to be able to just run on the elevator without killing
No,
anything.
they changed it. What?
That's actually what it is, right?
Wow.
Yo,
Wow.
why did they change that?
Heading up to the tower now.
But I think if you kill, maybe it's if you kill a certain number though, because I did have one time I swear where like I didn't have to kill those guys and I just ran right on it.
Okay, for context, this is not the patch that we usually play on. I'm playing on most recent patch because I haven't down patched. That doesn't happen on old patch. Oh, this is bangers, by the way. If you guys want to explain.
Oh yeah, now we're to the actual
Now to the bullshit.
random.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this guy, if he doesn't hit Sim in the right way, he won't flip out of bounds. It's a little random,
If he grabs
or he can just
you-
grab you, which is you can reset it, but it's a little obnoxious. Yeah.
Yeah, if he like grabs
hit
me, I
me.
just do the checkpoint and restart.
Okay, my game just didn't pause that time. I don't know why the game is not pausing when I'm pressing escape.
I thought we called it banger skip because
Yo, what's up, Meta?
we had for Bruv Skip, we had like a community member from England who thought that we were calling it Bruv Skip because he was English. And then we also I thought we called it bangers because that's like the sausage that they have for their fry ups, and the extended version is called bangers and mash.
Hey,
Well, once you said that, then we started calling it bangers and mash for that.
Okay.
'Cause, like, yeah, because he was like, oh, is it because I'm British? And we're like, no, but now it is.
You guys are making fun of me.
Hey.
Okay, Meta, you can't just show up like halfway through the stream and start explaining things we've already talked about. Can somebody ban
Yeah,
Meta?
come on, Meta.
Yeah, then we just started calling it bangers instead of it was bangers skip originally. But then bangers and then yeah.
I forget, like, who's in the community who quit running when bangers became a thing? I want to say it was Distortion, but I can't remember. If he actually
No, it
ran
was
this game.
Spice.
I mean, I
Spice.
did. Spicy probably did
Oh,
too.
Spicy, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I started learning this and then I was like, nah, I'm good. No, I stopped running for a while. I mean, I came back. I just don't do it anymore.
Hey, I don't know why my game is not pausing.
Casual moment.
You know, we're just gonna kill the two-head. Fuck it.
Oh, also, I should mention, we, speaking of funny, skip names, then we started calling it Bangers and Mash after he said, oh, is it because I'm British or whatever. But the second half of it is really inconsistent. Nobody does it, so it's Bangers and Ass.
Yeah, it's called Bangers and Ass. Because it's ass.
Oh, Sim, do you want to show off the fuse dupe here on the gate?
I have no idea.
Maybe if the enemies are behind you. Oh, you just take it out twice and then just run through the door.
Oh yeah, this is a glitchless strat. I think I gotta kill the enemies.
Oh, I mean, if they're like right behind you, you don't have to do it. But it's actually not technically a fuse dupe. I guess we're not duplicating the item. There are fuse dupes in some parts of the run where you can actually get a fuse to duplicate. But this is a pretty silly strat that was found with the fuse there, the glitchless strat. So if you just take the fuse and put it back in a couple times, you get off cycle with the door opening and closing. You know, every time you put it in, it'll like oscillate, like it'll open, close, whatever. If you just do that enough times, you get off cycle where you can just run through the door and it won't block you. Because, you know, obviously the idea is the door's supposed to close when you pull it out to prevent you from just keeping it and running through. But yeah, you can kind of just get out of sync with it and then keep the fuse. You can actually do that in a few different places. So in glitchless, you get to keep a bunch of fuses and still skip some things.
I can probably show it off the tower.
Yeah, there's a lot of places you can grab fuses and keep them. In any percent, we only need a few of them, so that's why Sim just gets the ones in Habitat earlier on.
I don't think the insta-kill works on this badge.
I don't think so. So when we're actually fighting the two-head normally, there's a little bit of a weird thing that happens where, well, I mean, it's supposed to happen, but when you do enough damage to him, he'll fall down, and then you can melee him, and he'll rip off one of the heads. What sucks about that is it's seemingly random which one he does. Ideally, you put a bunch of bullets into one to do a bunch of damage to him, and then he'll decide to rip off the head you weren't shooting, and then you can kill him in like 2 hits. Nice. Okay, so Sim actually got pretty lucky there. He actually did do the one we wanted.
Okay.
Whoa.
That guy just like one-shot me. That guy just one-shot me.
Yeah, so having the other enemy here makes this fight really annoying because if you dodge an enemy, sometimes the second enemy will also just still hit you, and this guy does a lot of damage. He won't one-shot you per se on minimum, but pretty much every other difficulty is just a one-hit kill, no matter what. It's pretty cool and fun and fair, I think.
Yeah, I don't think we mentioned this, but the dodging in this game, all it is you have to hold left or right. But if there's like multiple hits for a combo, or if there's multiple enemies, then you hit left, then right, then left. But you can't dodge in the same way more than once. So, like, if it can set you up in some weird things where, like, if you don't want to go in one direction, but you already dodged in the other one, it's either you gotta tank a hit or, you know, go where you don't want to go.
Yeah, and the game doesn't really give you iframes that I'm aware of. So again, if you dodge and a second enemy decides to swing at you, you're just gonna get hit. And if you happen to get hit by the actual mini boss here, then it's really bad.
Yo, okay. I thought I got stun locked. Yo. See, this enemy here is so annoying. There we go. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, so there used to be an insta-kill on this guy, but I'm pretty sure they patched it.
I'm pretty sure they patched it.
Like, well, I don't even think it's allowed in glitchless, but yeah, if you get the two-head to stand in like a very specific spot in one of these door frames, he just instantly dies. It's the same thing as...
It looks like he bonks his head and then immediately dies.
Yeah, it's like how other enemies will die if they stand in the wrong spot. The game just decides, yeah, you're not supposed to be here, so let's just kill the enemy so the player doesn't get stuck. But you know, it just happens to still be in the arena, and it looks very
Okay,
silly.
I just looted some ammo, just because I used a bunch. I actually have a lot. I got a lot of ammo
Yeah.
from that. If you did
that's good.
bangers skip, it would actually put you right here. It would skip that boss.
They used to be the miners.
And then if you do the extension, the second half of it, the mash part, I think it skips this little area as well.
Yeah, it skips
Right.
this area and it puts you in the next area with Danny.
Yeah. Now this area Sim's dropping into, way back at the beginning of this level, we mentioned that panel you could get across. You can get all the way to this area if you can just get over that small gap. You can walk all the way here, and from here it unlocks a door to get to the final boss of this level.
Yeah.
And so you would be able to just walk straight to the end.
Gotta find a way.
The upper level, Jacob. Look
Sim,
for
is
the
it
clinic.
bad that even after the bangers troll, I actually do watching you play this still kind of makes me want to pick it back?
Yo, I'm getting Callisto'd!
Oh, no,
my
dude.
See, it's like, see what I mean?
no.
You get hit once and then you just get stun locked. It's like, well,
Yeah, you don't run particularly fast in this game too, so and the enemies do, so it's a little tricky to get away from them if they swarm you.
yeah, that's like 6 times I got Callisto'd this
Yeah.
run.
Didn't have much.
Pretty much any time you're
What are we looking like on time right now? Because we're getting kind of close to the end.
about 139.
That's not too bad. We might be a little overestimate, but that's not too bad.
Up to the surface.
Why would they cover it?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, if you get, you know, some of these tricks first try versus, you know, missing them each a couple times, it can be the difference between, like, I don't know, 2 hours versus an hour and a half or something. The range of which, like, you can actually get is pretty big.
It's called the Callisto Protocol. It's also 2 L's, yeah.
Yeah, we usually just call it Callisto when talking about it, but I guess that is like the full name of the game, yeah.
Yeah. I actually have the record in this game. I think it's a 117, I think, or 116. I don't even remember. I won't lie.
116, I think, yeah.
It's something like that. This game can be sub 110 with habitat launch, but yeah, so far there's no other leads on
it's hard.
skips. It's also hard.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Ferris. He takes 14 baton swings exactly. Unless I get trolled.
Yeah, like most of the boss fights in this game, we can kind of cheese it a little bit. Although it's a little difficult to do. It's a little harder than it looks. But if you finish your combo, then he will retaliate and attack you. But if you aim, you can cancel the combo, and you can just do the first swing over and over again, or the first 2 swings. And yeah, that was nice.
Yep.
Oh wait, sorry, he grabs. Yeah, he usually grabs you at least
He
once.
can do that.
It's a little random whether he like when he does it.
13, 14. This should be it. Okay, so
Yeah, nice. There you go. Okay,
Yeah.
I saw the grab. I thought it was over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that just speeds it up a lot.
On, glitchless on old patch is or sorry, they added cutscene skips in a later update. So we added glitchless before they added cutscene skips, so there was a much bigger difference. Before glitchless was like 2 hours, like over 2 hours, like it was like 220 or something like that, and I think any percent was in like the high 140s. So it was a bigger difference before they added cutscene skips in an update.
Oh yeah, because I mean now even though we skip huge parts of the levels, those sections also have cutscenes, so being able to skip those is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the glitchless record now?
I think it's like a 139.
Yep,
Rampancy
yeah,
has
39.
it.
Yeah, what'd you say? It used to be like 220. It was so much longer.
Yeah, Fiery
Yeah.
had the record before cutscene skips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the time difference on like the date on which they were run. Fiery got like a 223 back in like 10 months ago, and then We have like a 156, a 146, and 139 on the, I believe, since cutscene skip was added.
Sharkat, do you want to talk about this meme that happens in this cutscene coming up?
Oh yeah, I don't know if I remember the exact number, but so this is a product of cutscene skips here. But if your FPS is, I think, too high during the loading screen when you skip the cutscene, you just lose 40 seconds here. Like the prison cell gate just doesn't open for a while. If your FPS is below like 60 or 30 or something like that during the load screen, then it just works normally. But if it's too high, then it just doesn't work.
Yep, and
you're not soft locked, but you just lose 40 seconds.
Yeah, watch this. My FPS during the loading screen. Watch my FPS in the top right if you see it. I don't think you guys do.
I don't think we can.
I don't think you have it showing.
All right, I'm 120 FPS in the loading screen, so I just have to sit here for 40 seconds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean.
Yeah. So there is a way to fix this if you use Bandicam or Rivatuner or something like that. You can toggle your FPS. I think the game actually has a 30 FPS cap, but you might have to go to. I don't remember if you have to go to the main menu to do that.
It doesn't. The thing with the FPS cap is it doesn't cap it during the loading screen, only during gameplay. So you can have it capped to like 30 FPS, but the loading screen will still be like 100 FPS.
Is that the in-game cap or with Bandicam?
The in-game cap.
Or both?
You can can do FPS switching is allowed in this game because of stuff like that.
I'm opening the way ahead.
What most runners do is they have Bandicam or something open, Rivatuner, and what they do is they just toggle to 30 FPS during that loading screen.
Yeah, that still works, right?
Yeah. Alright, so those fuses I picked up in Habitat, I can use them here.
Yeah, so this skips a two-head fight. Really nice, saves a bunch of ammo.
That saves a bunch of ammo and a bunch of time.
I believe that's where we actually figured out the glitchless fuse dupe method, where you just put the fuse in a couple times and keep it, and it just skips. Yeah, you can just, not only can you skip the two-head there, but you also get to keep your fuse, and then you can use it to skip later section of this level. This hallway is pretty annoying. There's a lot of enemies, and again, they really hound you. It's kind of hard to run past them. They like to grab you.
Callisto'd. Callisto'd. Callisto! Let me play! Let me move!
Bro, playing is killing them. You're trying to not play them.
Down the stairs.
Bro! Okay, that was bad.
On the radio.
That was bad.
That's great.
That was bad.
Sim, have you seen in that hallway where he'll just say like the same dialogue line over and over again?
Yeah.
Or he's just like, this part's older than the rest of the prison. I don't know what triggers that, but he'll just say that like over and over again, like if you play do it normally. Okay, so yeah, this area isn't as bad as that last hallway, but there's still a lot of enemies. Fortunately, we can just throw them out of the way. And then we're gonna use the other fuse we picked up to skip a sort of long section here, where you normally got to go through a vent, grab a fuse, and then slowly walk all the way back.
Just a reminder, if you guys don't remember, or if people are just coming in, earlier in the game we did a glitch that skipped a big part of the level, and we picked up 2 fuses in an earlier level, and since we never used those fuses, we still have them and we can use them, and so we just use them to skip these sections. All right, so this two-head again.
Yeah.
We're gonna throw him into the fan.
Yeah, so I'm actually pretty convinced this was intended. Maybe not like what you're supposed I think you're really like supposed to fight him, but I think they knew you could do this, because I'm pretty sure there's an achievement in riot mode.
I got absolutely rolled.
Dog.
I have gotten Callisto'd so many times this run.
It's the new patch. It's the
new patch. It's the new patch. It's the new patch.
Yeah.
Not my skill issue.
I'm sorry to not believe you. When you talk about like, hey, this game can be fun, it's like, if you had fun once today. Alright, he's got his flip spots with him.
Okay, it's pretty difficult to get him in there. Oh, there we go. Now we're in a good spot.
Nice.
Okay, but
Callisto
this
runners
enemy
when they
shooting
can't
at
move,
me is
getting
being
hit
really
by 10
annoying.
enemies, be like...
There we go. Okay.
I want to find a clip of you just getting Callisto'd and just be like, Callisto runners be like, this is the fun part.
We did have a helmet. We did have a helmet, but it broke off in a cutscene. We didn't see it because I skipped it, obviously, but his helmet broke.
I don't know if we answered it. I think I saw a question earlier, maybe in this level of the last, asking if the glitchless run was fun. I think it can be pretty chill. I've only ran it a couple times, not as much as any %, but yeah, I mean, if you enjoyed playing this game casually, you'll enjoy glitchless. I guess I'll just say that. If not, then maybe not. There's not a ton of tech for glitchless. There's, well, I mean, I guess that's not completely
weapon
true.
swapping, and I guess that's
you got
about
you
it.
got quick swapping with weapons. You actually can keep some of the fuses. We call it fuse duping. It's sort of a misnomer, I guess. Like you can duplicate fuses by pulling one out as soon as you get a checkpoint. But obviously that duplicating items is not allowed in glitchless. But we just call it fuse duping when you're able to keep a fuse and you're not supposed to. You know, just the glitchless classic is putting it in, take it out, put it in, take it out until you can just run through the door.
The original method when this game first came out back in December of last year was we would actually physically duplicate the fuses. They fixed that long ago, but we can just do that method instead.
Most of the methods for just taking them with you still work. I think one of them they might have fixed. There's one where you used to reload a checkpoint. Like when you put the fuse in, it wouldn't let you take it back out. But if you reloaded a further checkpoint and then backtracked, you could take it with you.
Yeah, they fixed that's in Lost, I think they fixed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if it's really gonna come up, but I was gonna explain this in a little more detail earlier. I don't know if we got back to it. So with the health injectors, when you press and hold the heal button, you go through this animation where he'll inject himself with it and you'll heal up. If you have a health injector and you just tap the button, but you don't fully hold it, he'll start the animation. You can see Sim was like spamming it here.
Yeah.
Using the health injector animation will actually put away your weapon instantly, which is really good because whenever you interact with something like, a ladder, a door button, whatever, he'll actually sit there and you'll lose about a second or so because he'll sit there, put away the weapon, then do the animation. So if you're not at full health and have a health injector... Oh, we got the random time save.
We got the random time save. Let's go.
Or is it random? Didn't someone figure out why it happened, or do we not know still?
I have no idea.
A diluted test sample.
I haven't
from
built
one
the
of our
Callisto
labs.
Discord server in months.
I feel like somebody maybe had a theory, but I don't remember. But yeah, so that's like a small detail. That's another thing that's useful in glitchless as well. That's why you actually don't want to be at complete full health in this game. Actually, kind of similar to how healing works in Dead Space games, where you can heal some slowed effects. But yeah, so you'll see people do that a lot. You want to be just under full health, have a health injector, and then you can put away your weapons instantly. It just saves a few seconds here and there over the whole run.
All right, so it looks like we are overestimate. That's okay because we're in the last part of the game. We're in the last I'd say about 5 or so minutes, maybe a little more.
They just got the last boss fight here.
Yeah, this is the final boss. All right, so this is a rematch with Ferris. It's the exact same. Nothing's changed. He still
Do you know if
takes
it's the same
14
number
hits.
of swings? Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's still 14.
So I think somebody asked earlier when we fought him if that was the final boss. We did have to go through this last level still, but it is pretty much the same thing here. Then he's going to do a big transformation, and that's the true final boss. It's going to be the second phase here. This is kind of just a warm-up.
Okay, this is the real final boss. This is hard.
Yeah, again, without picking up any upgrades for the shotgun, this can be pretty tricky.
I also
that's another reason why
situation.
You still had a lot earlier. I'm sure you're probably did.
Probably.
Yeah, this is another reason why Sim grabbed a grip battery upgrade earlier. we want to throw some of these explosive enemies as well as these explosive barrels at the boss to help save some ammo, and it also, you know, just does a lot more damage than a regular pistol shot. But it's pretty easy to run out of grip here. Again, picking up enemies uses way more grip than picking up a regular item, so we have to be careful with how long we hold on to them and how many we throw in them. But that medium upgrade pretty much guarantees we're not going to run out. Yeah, I think it's pretty tight with the battery,
really tight with the
management with the small upgrade. Yeah, it's like really easy to run out.
Yeah, you do need to take care of those guys that are crawling through the walls, though, because I forgot, are they like one-hit kills if they get to you?
They're not one-hit kills, but they do a ton of damage.
Yeah. It's probably not as big of a deal on medium, or minimum, I mean. But obviously we don't want to get hit too much still. So yeah, if I remember correctly, it's you got to break the shell open twice, and he'll regenerate it. But once it breaks the third time, it'll just stay open. That's how we know we're pretty close to the end of the fight.
Yeah.
So that he's almost dead. Yeah.
All right, he's almost dead.
How many times have we got? Okay, cool.
Oh! I accidentally swung my melee. Oh god, I might get Callisto'd. Okay, I didn't get Callisto'd. I almost got Callisto'd.
Dog.
Okay, time is coming up. Time is coming up. I'll give a countdown.
Oh, dude, the jump he did.
The way he just jumped upwards.
Dude, he just ragdolls when you kill him. Most of the time he just crumples to the floor, but yeah, I guess he can jump. I don't know if I've seen that.
Alright, there is a small time save here if you can get in front of Danny. Let's go, I got it. Alright, now we're just running to the end. Callisto means I got rolled. I got trolled by the game. That's what we called Callisto.
Yeah, we just call it getting Callisto'd when there's some jank.
Yeah. Okay, time is coming up in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time!
Woo! Yo, GG,
go! Woo!
Good job. Oh, what a run!
Well, what was the time on that? 1:54:33. That's not too bad. I know you guys. First of all, shout out to the entire Callisto community, such as Looney, Topher, Sharkcat. You know, all of the guys in the Callisto Discord. We're a pretty small community, but shout out to all of them. Do you guys have anything that you wanna say?
For everything.
You go.
You go first. Oh, okay. Well, I think I mentioned it earlier, but yeah, we do have a Discord server where we discuss, you know, strats and runs and things like that. So if you're interested in, you know, trying any of these runs, running glitchless even, or, you know, just trying to learn some of the skips for fun, you know, that's a good place to join. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. If you're interested, come check it out.
And this is not the last time you're gonna see me today. I'm gonna be back later tonight playing Outlast Trials. So if you want to see more of me, make sure you're here tonight.
Yep.
I know everybody wants to see more of me.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks everyone for putting this together. I know we're just getting started, but it's always fun to have these marathons.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I hope you found some peace.
Okay, that was such a sick run to kick this marathon off. That was so good. Congratulations, guys. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with the Wheat Harvest Paradox by Lick.